I shoot a lot of multicam videos. Now I'm on a mission to replace my RØDECaster Pro 2 and ATEM Mini Pro ISO and condense that into one device, and that's the RØDECaster video. Today I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do that. I shoot a lot of multicam videos. That's whether it's here in the studio or if I'm on site with a client. So any chance I get to reduce the amount of gear I have to set up or take with me, well, I'm going to take advantage of that. Lots of times those multicam edits look like interviews. Sometimes they're video podcasts. I also do events. And in any of those cases, well, this type of setup I think is going to work really well with the RØDECaster video. Now, if you've watched any videos about the RØDECaster video, well, it can be an overwhelming device. In fact, the more I learn about this device, the more functionality I'm uncovering. But what I want to do is strip all that away and show you exactly how I plan on using this device. First, let's take a look at all of the devices I have plugged into the RØDECaster video. So I have two microphones right here. This is the headphones I'm using to monitor this video. This HDMI is an HDMI out. It's actually going out to an external monitor so that I can monitor all of my camera angles. And then these are my three camera HDMI ins. So this is capturing video from all of the three cameras that I have set up. So this is angle number 1, this is angle number 2, and you're seeing right here angle number 3. That's showing the RØDECaster video. Here I am connecting the RØDECaster video to my laptop, and we'll go over why I'm doing that here in a second. This USB-C out is to record externally to an SSD. So I do use a Samsung T7 for this. This is a terabyte drive. Now, one tip that I do want to point out, see that light right there? You want to make sure that whatever external hard drive you're using, it's nice to have an indicator light. I have plugged the external SSD into other ports on the back of this video, and the light didn't turn on. So you do want to make sure that that light's on so that if you do want to record externally, you can do so. Now, looking at the top of the RØDECaster video, we have camera angle 1, camera angle 2, camera angle 3. So I can manually switch those different angles. I'll show you how I set all this up here in a moment. This up here on the upper left-hand side is the record button. This light is on. This is how I'm recording to my external SSD. Now, this is red right now because I'm recording this audio that's running through the RØDECaster video. But if it's not red, then that means you're not recording. So it's a nice visual representation of whether or not you're recording. Over here on the right-hand side, you can see that I am using headphone number 1. So there is a volume knob here. So if I want to manually make any changes there, then I can do that. Now, you can set all of this up that I'm about to go over using just the hardware, but it's actually easier if you use Rode Central. So let's hop into the software and take a look. We are in the dashboard of Rode Central. The first thing you want to do is head over to device configuration, audio, and multi-track. So what we're doing here is we're setting up multi-track so that it's going to record separate audio files for each of the microphone inputs. Now, what I like to do is record everything pre-fader. Now, if I'm doing a live stream or something like that, I can apply fader settings to that audio recording. But lots of times I'm recording in a room like this where, the air conditioning's running, the ceiling fan's going, and I found that if I do have fader enabled, then it's going to try to process, and in lots of cases it over-processes situations where you're in noisy rooms. So I just like to record pre-fader, and then also I just bypass all the processing. The next thing we're going to do is head over to the audio mixer. This is where you're going to set up each of your microphones. In this case, microphone 1 is the microphone I'm speaking in now. If I hit this settings, I can select the input type. It does have some presettings, just like with the RØDECaster Pro 2. In this case, I am using a dynamic microphone, so you can set those settings up here. And then what you can do here is control your gain. Now the preamps in the RØDECaster video are just like the ones in the Streamer X and the RØDECaster Pro 2. They're fantastic. So if you have a gain hungry mic like the Shure SM7B, then you can control those gain levels here, and you can go higher than normal. The threshold on these controls is even higher. Now, when you go in and set up the microphone for the second person, if they have a louder voice or a softer voice, then what you can do is set up the gain controls depending on whoever's speaking into each microphone. Now, going back over to microphone 1, this is all of your processing that you can turn off or on. Now, this is where you want to control processing if you're doing a live stream. If you remember, in the last screen I showed you, I am recording everything to my external SSD without processing and pre-fader. But if you want to apply processing to your live stream, you can do so here. And all you have to do is turn it on, just like so. And you might even hear a difference in the audio right now when processing is turned on. I like to just keep it off unless I'm live streaming and I want to apply those processing settings. Heading back to the main dashboard, let's go into Scene Builder. Now you can see this is me right here. I am camera number 1 is associated with button number 1 here in the software, or even on the RØDECaster video. It matches up with button number 1 on the RØDECaster video. That means that button number 1 is going to match up with your HDMI input 1. Button 2, HDMI input 2, so on and so forth. Up here, you can do scenes. This is fun if you want to do side-by-side pre-setups, pre-scenes. We won't get into too much detail here. That's more of an advanced feature. However, it is important to know that those controls are available to you. And finally, the RØDECaster video does have auto switching capabilities. Now, I've done a couple of videos that include real-world samples of auto switching. I'll leave a link to those videos down below. And it's interesting to see how auto switching is applied now. So head on over and watch those videos if you'd like to see how auto switching works in the real world. Now that everything's all set up, we are ready to record. Now, as I mentioned, I'm already recording here, but what's nice about the RØDECaster videos, when I hit that record button, it's going to start all of my files at the exact same time. Now, if you do any multicam editing, this is a time saver if you have everything starting and stopping at the same time. So you always can keep an eye on that video button. Make sure that the indicator light is red. That means everything's recording and it's looking good. And then also, while you're monitoring your conversation, there are audio levels right here. You can cycle through this window and look at all those settings and just make sure that everything sounds and looks good. And finally, I do want to mention you can manually switch camera angles during the conversation. So if you are part of the interview, what's nice about this is that all you have to do is manually switch right here. You have everything set up. It's nice and simple. It's much simpler than looking at a RØDECaster Pro 2 and an ATEM Mini Pro ISO. So I can keep an eye on things and manually switch. And then when you get your recording files, there is going to be one file that captures whatever you do right here when you're manually switching. So that is really nice. I am going to show that to you right away. Before we take a closer look at the files that are being captured from your recording, I do want to point out that you do have to stop recording on the RØDECaster video before you pull the SSD card from your device. If you just pull the SSD out, you're going to lose all your files. It's going to be a really bad day. I've learned that the hard way. So make sure that you stop recording before you actually disconnect that external SSD from your RØDECaster video. Now, jumping back into my laptop here is what a RØDECaster video output folder looks like. Let's go ahead and click in here. We have audio files, we have video files. This default file that you're looking at right now, that is capturing everything that you do manually on your device while you're recording. So if you are manually switching camera angles, if you are taking advantage of auto switching, that's going to all be combined into one file. That also includes all of the audio that's captured. Everything that you're recording on your device is going to be captured in this folder. So that's really nice. Now, if you want to get your individual files, all you have to do is open the audio folder. I mean, this is just a absolute pleasure to have all of your audio files in separate files. So we have combo 1, if you remember, that's microphone 1, combo 2 is microphone 2, and this live mix is going to be a combination of all of the audio that was captured in this recording. If we hop into the video file, same here, I'm capturing with 3 cameras today. So I'm getting a camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3, separate recordings. Each of these cameras will have the audio from the camera. So if you do want to back up, an extra backup, you can do that as well. You're going to notice that all of these other files are generated in here, but I didn't use 6 cameras for this recording, so these will just be blank. But either way, this just gives you a good idea of all of the files that you're going to be able to capture based on the type of equipment that you have attached to the RØDECaster video. When it comes to editing, I have all the files I need in here. Now, I also record each of my cameras internally. The reason why is because the RØDECaster video is only recording at 1080. I like to have 4K files just in case I need the extra resolution. So what I do with these video files is I actually treat them as a backup. Something that RØDECaster Video wrote, if you're listening, it'd be fantastic if you gave us an XML file that would enable easy switching out of those 4K files, swapping the 1080 with the 4K so that you do have the higher resolution. So what I'm doing from here is I'm actually taking the files from each of the cameras and I'm treating the files that are captured in my external SSD as backup files. But what I am doing is pulling the audio files from the SSD. I'm syncing them with each of my camera angles, and then what I can do is just manually do that edit and post. I already have that workflow dialed in, so it's not that big of a deal for now, but in the future, that XML file will speed things up significantly. If you're interested in seeing a more deep dive video about how I do my edits, I'll place a link to that video down below. That's it. That's the rundown on how I am currently using the RØDECaster video, all of the settings that I'm using. And this is for a multicam edit, up to 3 cameras, using 2 microphones in this example. And I definitely look forward to doing more tests using this device. So let me know, would these settings be helpful for you? If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you like this type of content and want to see more videos about the RØDECaster video, then I invite you to subscribe. Thanks as always for tuning in, and I'll see you again in the next video.